Okay, now we are going to continue chapter number 8, and this chapter is about the network security. Okay, so if you do remember, in the last class we had discussed network security. Okay, generally we discussed what is encryption, and we discussed symmetric encryption algorithm, and we also thought that we will discuss asymmetric encryption and authentication, but we couldn't finish due to limited time. So in today's class we are going to continue and start asymmetric encryption algorithm and authentication. Okay, so as we have discussed that there are several problems in the symmetric key cryptography, and we have discussed that two problems. The first problem is that the shared key, it should be securely distributed before starting communication. Why? Because this one key, single key, is used for encryption and decryption, so the key should be available both at sender and receiver. Okay, and this exchange of secure key, it takes a lot of time and it is very difficult. Okay, so this is the first problem. The second problem is that when the key is shared with the when the attacker comes to know about the key, so there is no responsibility fixing, that there is no mechanism to fix the responsibility, that who has shared this key, who has the responsibility, who has made it. Okay, so there is no mechanism of accountability. Okay, in order to achieve it, so we have discussed that there is another algorithm which is called public key cryptography. In public key cryptography, there is no need of secure exchange of key. And second, if the key is come to know, or if the attacker comes to know about the key, then there is fixing responsibility that who had made it. Okay, so the public key cryptography, it is a radically different approach. Why? There is no need of secure exchange of key. This is the basic example. And how it is made? Let's start it. The sender and receiver, they don't need to share a secret key. This is the difference. Okay, and that's why it is also called public encryption key, because the key is known to each and everyone. The public key, it is known to each and everyone, but there is a private key that is only known to the receiver. So let's me explain this public and private key through an example. So how public key algorithm works? Let me explain through an example, then it will be easy. Suppose this is the LS and this is the Bob, and the LS wants to send the message M to Bob securely. How it is done? Through public key cryptography. First of all, the LS and Bob, they both, for example, LS, she generates two keys. For example, key A and key plus A and key minus A. Similarly, Bob also generates its own two keys. For example, KB plus and KB minus. When these two keys they are generated, okay, by LS, so they are not generated randomly. Basically, there is a proper mechanism, mathematics. And what is the mathematics? The mathematics is that if the message is encrypted by using this K plus A key, K plus A key is used to encrypt the message, then the message can be only decrypted by using K minus A key. So there is a relationship between these two keys, that if the message is encrypted by one key, then it can be decrypted by another key. If the message is encrypted by using K plus A key, then it can be decrypted by only K minus A key. And if the message is encrypted by k minus a key, then it can be only decrypted by k plus a key. So these two keys, they are generated in such a way. So there is a mathematics behind it. Okay. So when LS generate these two keys, one of the key, for example k plus a, it is shared to each and every one. It is publicly shared. It is publicly known. So this becomes the public key of LS. And this key that is generated k minus a, it is kept by LS with herself secretly, and it is not shared with anyone. So it is the private key of LS, and this is the public key of LS. Okay. Similarly, the k plus b, it is the public key of Bob, and kb, it is the private key of Bob, and it is basically the private key of Bob. It is generated by Bob and it is kept by Bob. If someone comes to know about this private key, so it means that this is the Bob is responsible. Why? Because the Bob has generated this key and Bob has kept it with itself. So if someone else comes to know about this key, then it means that it is done. There is the responsibility of Bob. Similarly, the private key of LS, it is the responsibility of LS, because LS has generated this key and LS has kept it with itself. So if this key is shared with anyone else, so it will be done by LS. So there is the fixing the responsibility, and there is no secure exchange. Why? Because LS announce its public key to each and everyone publicly. Similarly, Bob announced its public key to each and everyone publicly. So there is no secret key exchange. Okay. So I think it is clear. Now how the messages are shared. Now, as I have explained to you that when these two keys are generated, so there is a relationship that if the message is encrypted by one key, then it can be decrypted by another key. So if the message is encrypted by k plus b, so the message will be decrypted by only k minus b. If the message is encrypted by k minus b, then it can be only decrypted by k plus b. If the message is encrypted by k minus a, then it can be decrypted by k plus a, and similarly. Okay. Now, so the k plus a, it is the public key of LS, and k plus b, it is the public key of Bob. Okay. So public key of LS announced to each and everyone publicly that this is my public key. Okay. So there is no secret key exchange. Similarly, the Bob also announced its public key to each and everyone. Okay. Now suppose that LS wants to send the message. Suppose that LS wants to send message M confidentially to Bob. If LS wants to send message to Bob, and it should be confidential. Confidential means that only Bob should know about the message, no one else. So which key should be used for encryption? By LS. LS knows what? LS knows its private key, its public key, and LS also know about the public key of Bob. Why? Because Bob has announced this public key to each and everyone, even to LS. So the LS knows three keys. LS knows its LS public key and LS private key, k plus a, k minus a, because they are generated by it. And the third key, she knows about the public key of Bob. Similarly, the Bob knows three keys: its public key and private key, k plus b and k minus b, and it also knows about the public key of LS, because LS has announced its public key to each and everyone. Okay. So when LS knows about three keys, these first, second, k plus a, k minus a, and k plus b, these three keys are known to LS. So if the LS wants to send the message to Bob, then the message should be confidential. Confidential means that the message should be only read by Bob, no one else. So which of these three keys should be used? These two and these three. So which key should be used for encryption? So obviously it should use the public key of Bob. Why? Because the public key of Bob, if the message is encrypted by a public key of Bob, then it will only be decrypted by the private key of Bob, and the private key of Bob is only known to Bob, no one else. So no one else can decrypt this message. Only the Bob can decrypt. Why? Because the message encrypted by a public key of Bob, it only be decrypted by the private key of Bob, and the private key of Bob is only known to the Bob, no one else. So if the message is encrypted by public key of Bob, so it will only be decrypted by private key of Bob, and the private key of Bob, it is only known to the Bob, no one else. So this message, it cannot be read by anyone else. Okay, now no need. So in this public key algorithm, there is no need of secure key exchange. And if this private key of Bob is known to the attacker, then means the Bob is responsible. So the responsibility is fixed. Okay. Next, so the public key cryptography, we have explained it. There are two requirements. The first requirement is that each one, it generates two keys, public key and private key, and these public and private key, they are generated such that the message is encrypted by one key, then it can be decrypted by another key. Okay, and given the public key, it should be impossible to compute the private key. The second requirement is that because each user, ls for example, announce its public key to all people. So if the Bob knows about the public key of ls, so the Bob cannot compute the private key of ls. So this is the mathematical relationship. This is the mathematics behind generating these two keys. There are two mathematical concepts. The first concept is that the message encrypted by public key, it will be decrypted by private key. If the message is encrypted by private key, then it can be decrypted by its public key. This is the first requirement. And second requirement is that from the public key of a user, one cannot come to know about the private key of the user. For example, because ls will announce its public key to each and everyone, so the Bob cannot cannot compute the private key of ls from the public key of ls. Okay. So these are basically two mathematics concepts, and basically this is called the standard algorithm that is used for public key encryption. It is called RSA, and RSA means Revert Shamir Adelson algorithm, because it was invented by these three scientists. Okay. So how it is done? Basically, what is the mathematics behind? So basically, when these two keys are generated, so this is the mathematics. They use X mod n algorithm, X mod n. Okay, these two values are selected. These are the integer values. Okay, so they are selected like this way. Okay, RSA, get it ready. The message is just a bit pattern. The message is not a block, it is a bit pattern, and bit pattern can be uniquely represented by an integer number. Thus, encryption a message is equivalent to encrypting a number. For example, this is the message, it's a bit pattern. Okay, this message can be represented by decimal number 145. So it's when it is should be encrypted, so basically using the public key or private key, so a new number is generated. Okay, so this is the working of RSA algorithm. When RSA algorithm, it choose two prime number PQ, and each it should be 1024 bit. Then by using this PQ, it computes the n, okay, such that z is equal to p minus 1 and q minus 1. Then it choose E, which is less than e is less than now, and that has no common factor with z, and then it choose d such that ed minus 1 is exactly divisible by z, and from these values the public key is ne and the private key is np. Okay, so RSA encryption algorithm and decryption algorithm is working like this way. So this is the public key ne and nd is the private key. Okay, so they are computed by using this mathematics. Okay, so this is totally mathematics algorithm. Okay, so this is an example how RSA works. Okay, so we have explained the RSA algorithm. This is the more detail. Okay, and this is the another important property that if the message is encrypted by public key, then it can be decrypted by private key. Okay, so next video we will discuss more example of the RSA algorithm. Okay.